All right, so I think this is recording. Let's take a look here at number 12. We have a rational expression times a rational expression. They want us to write it as a single rational expression in lowest terms and to state any restrictions that we have. In this type of arithmetic, restrictions come that we have to avoid division by zero. We can't allow any denominator to ever equal zero. But let's start out by writing these two fractions as a single fraction. So let's multiply the two numerators together, and let's multiply the two denominators together. So now here it is, this is a single fraction. All right, now the n plus 9 is nice right there. I can see one restriction is going to be that n can't be negative 9. But I'm going to look at this other binomial and come over here off to the side and factor it so you can see a little bit better what the restriction is going to be. And then I'm also going to, oh, wait a minute, hey, yeah, I need to do that because the temptation is to cancel this binomial before stating the restriction. So let's rewrite 6n plus 6 as 6n plus 6 times 1. And we see that a 6 is common to both terms, and we can write it as 6 times the quantity n plus 1. Some people might have been able to see that n can't be negative 1 because then you'd have a negative 6 plus a positive 6. But in factored form, you can definitely see it. All right, so let's go ahead and factor this trinomial as well. N squared plus 6n minus 27. Let's use our x method. 6n is the middle term. Our first times our last is negative 27n squared. Two numbers that multiply together to give us the top expression, but add to give us the bottom. Let's try 9n and minus 3n. With a leading coefficient of 1, we can take a shortcut. We don't have to make a table underneath here. And we can just say n plus 9 and n minus 3. So let's return back over here to our fraction. This 6n plus 6 factors to 6 times n plus 1. This trinomial factors to n plus 9 times n minus 3. We've got an n plus 9 here. And we said that this guy, we already factored it in the numerator, is 6 and n plus 1. So now it's pretty easy for me to see what my restrictions are going to be. A negative 9 plus 9 gives me 0 in the denominator, and I can't have that. And a negative 1 plus 1 gives me a 0, and I can't have that. So now let's look and see what factors are common with the numerator and denominator and cancel them. 6 divided by 6 is 1, so we say those cancel. N plus 1 and n plus 1, those are factors, and they cancel. And n plus 9 and n plus 9, those are factors, and they cancel. Well, this really reduced pretty nice. So, because in the numerator, the only thing we have is n minus 3, and in the denominator, we just have 1. Well, n minus 3 divided by 1 is just n minus 3. And our restrictions, it'll never reduce to n minus 3 if n were allowed to equal negative 9 or negative 1. So again, I don't think a normal person would look at this, these two fractions and say, well, that's obvious, that's n minus 3. It's just not that obvious. So that's why we break it down, that's why we show our work, that's why we look and approach it step by step. All right, well, I hope that helps, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.